Join us as we ride through Great Basin National Park in Nevada. Great Basin is on Highway 50, also known as the loneliest road in America. We are riding up Wheeler Peak Scenic Drive to Bristlecone parking lot. Entering the park and turning right on Wheeler Peak Scenic Drive. This is one of the few paved roads in the park. The other paved roads go to the caves and visitor center. The campgrounds off of Wheeler Peak Scenic Drive are paved, but the other campgrounds in the park are not. Upper Lehman Creek Campground. This is where we were hoping to stay. Unfortunately, it was full. Thought we'd found a spot, but nope, there was a reservation. Many of the campsites are along Lehman Creek. I had camped here years ago, and we had found a spot then, no problem. Both of my visits to the park have been in early summer. Back on Wheeler Peak Scenic Drive. Wheeler Peak Scenic Drive is closed from November to June due to snow. The exact dates vary. Check the National Park Service website for details. We are looking down at the Great Basin Desert. The Scenic Drive is in the South Snake Mountain Range. The drive is 12 miles from the park boundary to the parking lot at the top. Bristlecone parking lot at the top is more than 10,000 feet above sea level. We will ride over 4,000 feet in elevation on the Scenic Drive alone. Vehicles over 24 feet and trailers are not allowed on this road. With these switchbacks, you can see why. Great Basin is very diverse, being surrounded by desert, having forests, cave, and mountain tops, which usually keep their snow year-round. Animals in the park include mule deer, marmots, coyotes, and jackrabbits. These animals are common in the park and may be seen on the road and on the Scenic Drive. Animals in the park that are not as common are the water shrew, yellow-bellied marmot, beaver, sagebrush vole, porcupine, bighorn sheep, pygmy rabbit, and ringtail cat. There are many species of bat in the park. Different species inhabit different elevations. Some of the bats roost in trees and hollows, others on the cliff edges, some in caves and mine entrances. On the left, this is our first sighting of snow as we're going higher in altitude. There are 2 caves the public may explore in the park. Lehman Caves is the most popular and easiest to get to. You may only go in these caves with a guided tour. The tours are year-round and offered daily, but they do fill up. More snow on the side. We will slowly see more snow on our ride to the top. The Wheeler Peak campground was still closed due to snow. The Lehman Cave Lodge Room Tour is 60 minutes long and less than half a mile. The Grand Palace Tour is 90 minutes long and children must be at least 5 years of age. This is Wheeler Peak Overlook, which we will stop at on our way down the mountain. Upper Pictograph Cave is another cave to visit in the park. The pictographs are visible from outside the cave, so people are not allowed to go in the cave and there are no tours. This cave is harder to find. It is close to Grey Cliffs Campground down a dirt road. This area was home to the Fremont Native tribe. It is the Fremont tribe that painted the pictographs. We are at Bristlecone parking lot. The road past here was closed, so we parked to check out the views. There are many trails that lead from this parking lot and this area. Trails include a hike to the lakes, to the glacier, and to Wheeler Peak Summit. We were hoping to do at least one of them, but ran out of daylight. Time to go back down the mountain and try and find a place to camp tonight. This time stopping at Wheeler Peak Overlook. This whole drive was beautiful and we were lucky enough to do it on a clear day. We even had the lookout to ourselves. continuing down the mountain. Stone artifacts and animal bones have been found in Upper Pictograph Cave. However, the Fremont Village is located a few miles from Great Basin National Park and is now known as Baker Archaeological Site, or Baker Village. Baker Village has over 15 buildings aligned with the sunrise on the winter and summer solstice. There are more than 40 caves in the park. All wild caves are closed, except for Little Muddy. This is to protect the bats. You need a permit to explore Little Muddy. Mather Overlook Road. We saw people parking here and not going down the road, so we weren't sure if the road was open or not. Mather Overlook, looking at Wheeler Peak and east towards Baker. Back towards the main road of Wheeler Peak, Scenic Drive. Fishing is allowed in certain locations in the park. However, Great Basin National Park does not sell fishing licenses. The closest location to buy a license would be the Border Inn on the east or Eli to the west. Brown trout is the most common fish in the park. Most of the roads are closed in the park in the winter, but they are open to skiers and snowshoers. The Lehman Cave tours are open year-round and are less crowded in the winter. The only camping available in the winter is at Lower Lehman Creek Campground. This was a fun road to ride and not busy. Great views of the mountains and the desert. Passing by Upper Lehman Creek Campground. Lower Lehman Creek Campground. We were told at the visitor center this campground is set up more for RVs than tents. Lehman Creek is just behind these sites on the right. To the right is towards Lehman Caves. We are turning left and leaving the park. The town of Baker. This is where the Great Basin Visitor Center is. We weren't sure if this gas station was open. Yes, it's open, and we're happy we got gas. We were hoping to find a place to stay here, but the town was booked. Back on Highway 50, also known as the loneliest road in America. Thanks for joining us on our afternoon at Great Basin National Park. Please hit like and subscribe, and follow me at YouTube and Facebook at Biking with Butterfly, and Instagram at BikingWB.